All right, so our basic steps, and of course I'm going to color code this, is step 1, distribute. Step 2, combine like terms. And the reason we're doing that is to simplify each side. Okay, step 3. We're going to move variables to one side. Specifically, we're going to be using inverse operations. Which will probably either be addition or subtraction. Okay, step 4. Solve. Now, the solving that I'm talking about is going to be what we had done yesterday. So the first thing that we had to do was remove the constant. And that's either addition or subtraction. And then we, remove the coefficient. Now, usually whenever we're removing the coefficient, we're either using division. More often than not, we are dividing our coefficient. But sometimes, and yes, I know we don't use this symbol often, but I just want to make sure that you know it. Sometimes we'll use multiplication. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin on a couple of examples here. Let's see. Example 1. This one's going to be 6 parentheses n as in Nancy plus 5 is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my colors. And step 1 says I should distribute. Well, remember, distribution, the one thing that we're going to be looking for are parentheses. And, well, yeah, I see that I should distribute my 6 to the n, which would give me, well, 6n, because they're being multiplied. And I'm going to distribute my 6 to the 5. And 6 times 5, that's going to give me positive 30. And the rest of this stuff, I'm just going to bring it on down. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take a look at step 2. Can I combine like terms? Well, and it says to simplify each side. So I'm going to look on the left side first. I have a 6n and a 30. Those aren't like terms. And over here, I just have a 2. So I can skip step 2. Then it says move variables to one side of the equal sign. Well, I only have one variable, so it's alone. I can skip step 3. In that case, we need to solve. I need to remove the constant. Now remember, my goal is to get my variable alone. And I've been noticing the mistake here is you're not sure which constant to move. So the constant I would like to move would be my 30 because it's closer to my variable n. Now I'm using my inverse operation. Since I have positive, I'm going to use the inverse of negative to eliminate my 30 and move it over to the other side. So that means I can bring down my 6n, my equal sign. Now here I have a small positive and a larger negative. So a small positive, a larger negative. That means I should have a negative number. This should actually be negative 28. Okay, so now I need to remove my coefficient. Right now my coefficient is being multiplied by my variable. So that means I get to divide by my coefficient. 6 over 6, that reduces to 1. And I can bring down in equals. Oh dear. This just, 6 doesn't go into 28. I mean, I can take a look here at all of my 6's, and 28 is not listed here as a multiple. So that means, I got my favorite F word, a fraction. That's totally cool. What I would want to do is just make sure and see if I could simplify it a little. Because both of these are actually even numbers, so I know that I can divide both of them by 2. So let's do that. Let's divide by 2. And that leaves me with, well, this one's easy. 6 divided by 2, that's 3. Negative 28 divided by 2. Sorry, I don't know why they ring that bell. All right, that would give me 14. There we go. So that means my final answer is negative 14 over 3. And I'm going to go ahead and box my answer. Okay, lovely. Let's go ahead and move on to our next example. This one's a little weird. Example 2. I have 16 minus a group of 7 M as in Mary plus 3 is equal to 8 groups of 1 minus M. All right. Looks like our first step is to distribute. I see some really easy distribution right here. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to say 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 times negative M would be negative 8M. I'm going to bring down my equal sign and my 16. Oh, I see that I subtracted a group of 7M plus 3. So since I subtracted a group, there's an implied 1 here. So I'm going to distribute my negative 1 to my positive 7M. And that would give me negative 7M. I'm going to distribute again. Negative 1 times positive 3 would be negative 3. Perfect. So let's move on to our next step. Let's combine like terms. Well, let's look on the left side. And I see I don't have any like terms with a variable, but I do have 2 constants, 16 and negative 3. So that's a big positive and a little negative. So I know I should have a positive. 16 minus 3 should be 13. And I'm going to bring down this negative 7M, my equal sign, 8 minus 8M.